Are you easy to buy? What if I can make deciding to buy your product the easiest decision your customers can possibly make? You see, people love to have a reason for why they do what they do, especially a personal reason. And this fact is never more evident as it is when we're really young. You ever hear that toddler always say, why? Why? Well, why? Well, let me tell you what Harvard says. In a famous study done by Ellen Langer in 1978, she revealed that people were 94% more likely to respond favorably to a request if they were given a reason why. Kind of makes you want to say why you want to do everything to people, right? Langer's research team experimented with a long line at a Xerox machine. For those of you who are too young to remember, it's a copy machine. This was all to prove that people simply love to have a reason for what they do. When asking people if they can skip ahead of them in the line, the research team was amazed to find that the success rate shot up from 60 to 93% just by giving the reason, because I need to make copies. I mean, obviously, everyone in line needs to make copies, right? It's a line for a Xerox machine. When the people in line were offered a better reason, because I'm in a rush, the success rate went up to 94%, just 1% higher. The researchers were shocked to discover they didn't even need a good reason to cut in the line. Any reason was reason enough to improve their chances for success. The simplest conclusion, people like to have a reason for what they do. A recent study in Time magazine revealed about 67% of buyers' experience is now online, and on average, you get 3 to 5 seconds of consumer attention before they move on. That's it, 3 to 5 seconds to give them that reason to buy your product or service. It's called the blink test because the decision is made in a blink. Just 3 to 5 seconds. It doesn't seem like much time, but this is how business today is done, and there are ways of doing it the best. Today we're going to talk together about how to use those 3 to 5 seconds to really become an inspiration to millions and give your customers reason to transform those few seconds into a lifetime of brand loyalty. That's called passing the blink test. And there's no better way for your brand to come out of nowhere in 2021 than passing the blink test. If you'd like more information about how to pass the blink test, I created an answer key for you, and the link is right there in the description below. Right now I'm going to provide you with the 3 do's for making a buy an easy yes, so you can create an entire community of brand loyalists 15 seconds at a time. They are: do the work for them, do more showing, less telling, and do leave them feeling excited, delighted, and united. Imagine a friend asks you to do them a favor. Let's say they need you to bring them groceries. You pick up their call and they say, hey, I need a favor. Can you leave work early and pick up a few things from the store and drop them off at my place? How do you feel about this request? You want to know why they can't go. Why can't they go do it themselves, right? How likely are you to feel good about leaving work early to bring your friend groceries when you don't even know why you're doing it? If you say yes and you do it without the reason, it's likely you'll feel a little bit resentful, at least a little bit, we're all human, about being treated like a delivery service. Now, let's say the friend calls and says, hey, I need a favor. Can you leave work early and pick up a few things from the store and drop them off at my place? My kid has the flu and I can't leave the house. You can even leave it on the porch. Now you've been given a reason, a call to action, an opportunity to be of service. Now you can feel good about how you are using your time, money, and energy. For me, the decision of whether or not to do this favor is now an easy yes. Of course I can. Your kid is sick, he's got the flu, I'll drop it off on the porch. People like to have a reason for what they do, and the same is true for what they buy. People also like to feel good about what they buy. Negative advertising worked for a while, but those days are long gone because the internet, today's consumers are faced with daily onslaught of negative news and reports and images that depict unrealistic standards for how people should look and act and live. People are dog-tired of getting shocked, frightened, shamed, and clicking on articles and visiting websites that are all about gloom and doom. Now when a person sets out to buy, they want to feel good about themselves and their choices. They want a good reason for investing their time, money, and energy. Today's consumers want to self-identify with the brands they associate themselves with. They want to feel at home. Much like the kinship we feel towards the people we choose to associate ourselves with, so must a brand extend a similar sense of kinship with its ideal individuals. What are your reasons for feeling akin to another person? It's a great question to ask yourself when determining how to use those first blink test seconds. Often people feel akin to another person because they have a lot in common. You share the same values, the same interests. You have the similar vision for a greater future. Let's for our purposes, let's make the decision to buy your brand easy on your ideal individuals and easier on yourself as well by making them feel right at home the moment they walk through the door. Without further ado, let's jump right into the 3 do's for making the buy an easy yes. First, we have do the work for them. The work that a buyer encounters when deciding what to buy is the work of overcoming limiting beliefs. The top 3 limiting beliefs today's consumers struggle with: time, money, and energy. So focus on those. These limiting beliefs are obstacles your brand must first face when convincing your ideal individuals, your ideal customers, that your brand is the right home for them. You do this by valuing every vulnerability. Try to remember VEV, V-E-V. Value every vulnerability because it will be relevant every step along the way towards making those first 3 to 5 seconds count in your favor. Admitting to having limiting beliefs for anybody, I mean, we're all human, takes courage. And overcoming obstacles, it takes work. We're not born perfect, we're getting there. So do the work for them by knowing them best, the hard work. The brand that knows them best wins their attention, and in the long run, wins their loyalty. And let me go back just a second. The hard work is helping them to accept and overcome their obstacles to buy. So when you know the major limiting beliefs that your particular brand community faces, you can provide them with reasons right up front for overcoming them. And yes, you can do it in the first 3 to 5 seconds. Just your name and logo can give them reason enough to tackle a limiting belief before they even click on your link. Great example would be pay less shoes. You could pay more, but why? Pay less tackles the obstacle of money. They value the vulnerability of being on a budget. It's vulnerable to say you're on a budget. A lot of people don't, give that information out. Yes, there are more expensive shoes out there, but why spread yourself thin when our shoes can cost less? The logo gives them reason. You could pay more. The reason you don't is because you don't have to, and we are here for you. Determine the leading obstacle your ideal community faces when deciding what to buy. And then do that hard work for them by addressing those limiting beliefs and offering immediate solutions. Next up, our next do is do more showing, less telling. The internet has created an economy of multimedia enthusiasts. The age of talking at consumers is over. More than half the world is now digitally connected. People don't describe a funny show they watch, they pull up the clip. People don't talk about their exercise routine, they share their Fitbit stats. People don't no longer describe an amazing vacation they went on. It's documented in real time, right? Throw out the soapbox and the loudspeaker. Today's consumers are more intimately connected than ever before. And to reach them effectively, they need to be shown why your brand is like a home for them. Today's top brands are consumer-centric. They are curated to their ideal customers, and they are very, very personal. I always tell my clients, if it ain't got heart, go back to the start. And for the sake of this episode, the start is those 3 to 5 seconds. The decision to buy is emotional. MRI studies have proven we use the emotional centers of our brains to make every purchase decision. Yeah, we may be professional at being able to go home to our family and give them a real rational reason why we bought something that we shouldn't have, but it's always emotional. Forget the pitch. Make those first 3 to 5 seconds an experience, a moving feeling, a human experience that values a vulnerability, and you've got yourself a bullseye. The latest innovation for today's top brands is to simply be more human. A leading example has been JetBlue Airlines. Air on the side of humanity is their tagline. Since their launch, JetBlue has built their brand around acknowledging the obstacles presented when traveling. They value the vulnerability of time and energy by offering award-winning customer service, free snacks, more legroom. The reason to use JetBlue is because they are known for making travel as convenient as possible. Talk about a why that makes it an easy buy. Finally, we have our last do. Do leave them feeling excited, delighted, and united. In an age where we have more intimate access to our ideal consumers than ever before, we have more responsibility. Use your brand to excite, delight, and most importantly, to unite. Negative advertising is dead, 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 and we are much closer to our brand community now, and the opportunity to be a part of their greater future is right in the palm of our hands. We are part of their personal lives now. Because our media presence has become a new extension of ourselves, we are connected at the hip, literally, if you keep your phone in your pocket, right? Be an inspiration to millions by exciting your brand community with the promise of a greater future, delighting them by keeping that promise, and uniting them through sharing their values, experiences, strengths, hopes, and yes, their vulnerabilities. Today's leading brand no longer say, you want to be us because we're awesome. They say, we want you because you're awesome. Take L'Oreal, because you're worth it, for example, right? Their tagline, because you're worth it. First of all, they use one of the most powerful words for signaling a reason, a why, in the English language. Because. Remember Langer's study? The people waiting in line didn't require a critical reason to allow a person to go ahead of them. They simply require a human reason. A simple because. In addition to time, money, and energy, there is an additional obstacle to buy that I want to give to you as like a little bit of a bonus. This might not apply to your brand, but it does apply to your branding on the whole, which is peer pressure. What will other people think is going through their mind? There's a limiting belief inside. What will other people think? Shame is a real emotional tyrant that can hold people down. So we want to uplift them with our taglines. So L'Oreal doesn't say, buy our cosmetics because we're worth it. They say, you're the type of customer we want because you're awesome. You're worth it. L'Oreal values the vulnerability of peer pressure because you're worth it is a statement that inspires self-expression, self-acceptance. It values the vulnerability of peer pressure to look our best. What will they think? And helps us overcome that obstacle by saying, you're already perfect just the way you are. Another brand that excites, delights, and unites is Red Bull. It gives you wings. That is exciting. The commercials are funny and whimsical. They delight. Every year, Red Bull throws a wacky car competition where people unite with a common love for the brand. The idea evolved into Red Bull pulling out the world's highest skydive. A man by the name of Baumgartner did a wild freefall from space and broke the speed of sound. According to YouTube, the jump also broke the world record for live stream with the most views ever. Over 9.5 million brand loyalists witness the jump. Who knew Red Bull gives you wings would make it all the way to outer space? This is a fine testament to the fact that there's no limit to how far-reaching your brand's impact can be. Not only for your brand community, but for humanity as a whole. Take this responsibility seriously and have some fun with your community. Uplift them. Run your brand through the do's today. Start by scanning for any negative angles your brand may have and replace them with supercharged positives. Choose one vulnerability your brand can value more and brainstorm ways to help your community overcome it. If you'd like me to do more of an in-depth episode where we explore several options for how your brand can pass the blink test by valuing every vulnerability, just put in #BEV in the comments below, and I'd love to do that for you. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe to my channel and click the bell so you don't miss a single thing. I release new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday, so you can treat this as your masterclass for becoming an inspiration to millions. And as always, the way to do that starts with our motto, and that is to love what you do and love how you do it. Thanks for watching. Don't miss out on a single thing. Subscribe below. And here's something else I think you'll love.